Well, China's cut back on buying their corn, and they got a weakening economy, and they're looking at some trouble. Should we be concerned about what's going on? Well, I'm just plain Bill, and this is Thought Swall thinking, and these opinions are mine.
China imported over $5 billion of U.S. corn last year, even though it's the world's second largest producer of the crop. The world's top producer is the U.S., and most of the corn these countries are producing isn't even eaten by people. About 75% of China's corn and 40% of the U.S.'s is used for animal feed. Livestock get fatter when they're fed corn, and China's growing middle class is eating more and more meat. China now needs about 250 million metric tons of corn per year. So much corn that it has to import millions of tons from other countries. And now, China has begun working to cut its reliance on foreign corn, particularly from the U.S.
Well, China's getting ready to hold their economic summit. They do that every 5 years. And the economy is probably going to be on the docket, even though it's a closed session.
To China next, where the country's ruling elite is meeting in the capital, Beijing, for a long-delayed policy gathering called the Third Plenum. No big announcements are expected to reform the world's second-largest economy. Xi Jinping is likely to focus on stability in the face of a real estate crisis, high youth unemployment, and surging government debt. Add trade and geopolitical tensions to the mix, and the challenges are even more difficult.
China's most important meeting is underway in Beijing. The plenum, held every 5 years to map out the direction of the country's long-term social and economic policies. The meeting isn't open to the public, but there's one topic that's undoubtedly on the table for discussion. That's China's sharp slowdown in economic growth, the slowest rate since the first quarter of 2023. Fed by weak consumer demand, a property sector meltdown, and debt accumulated by local governments.
So I gotta get through it, and the only thing I know.
China's economy has a bumpy road ahead, officials said on Friday. They said a list of economic goals from a key Communist Party meeting this week had many complex contradictions. Tang Fangyu is part of the Central Committee's Policy Research Office.
Well, I appreciate you watching, I appreciate you subscribing, and it's adios.